welcome to another episode of Spotlight on Stage, where we shine a light on theatre across Greater Manchester. I'm Michelle Eagleton, the arts and culture correspondent for I Love Manchester, and this is where you find me every Monday, bringing you the latest news, interviews with stars in front and behind the stage, and of course, telling you what is on this week at theatres across our fair city. Now, this week we are continuing our look at 2025 and what to look forward to that is coming to Manchester. I got the chance to catch up with the theatre director over at the Palace Theatre and Opera House, Robin Hawkes, and he has told me some of the fantastic things that's coming our way. Well, I've got to say, it was an amazing year for the Palace and Opera House last year. Some fantastic productions finished off with the epic Wicked. I mean,
Yeah.
didn't get better than that for me, I've got to say, Robin. What was it like for you at the theatres in 2024?
Oh, goodness me. 2024 has been an absolute blockbuster of a year. And yeah, it was brilliant to end the year with Wicked at the Palace, particularly with the movie coming out just at that same time. I mean, Wicked is always an absolute massive hit, isn't it? But this year it was just like elevated, I think, that extra notch because everybody was so excited about the movie coming out. Some people had been to see the movie before they came to see the show at the theatre, some people the other way around. It was really interesting to kind of compare and contrast and get everybody's views on it all. And yeah, just added that extra layer of excitement, I think.
Absolutely. It was a very hot ticket. I had all my friends going,
Yeah.
"Oh, I can't get it, or there's one seat left here." And it's like, oh, it was almost like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the golden ticket. And
The
great
golden
to have
ticket.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have it here in
Yeah.
Manchester. And that's what it's all about with 18G and the Palace and Opera House. We're going to come to some exciting news about Manchester and that in a bit. But look, tell me first what is going on at the Palace Theatre this year, and really what are the exciting things that we should be looking out for?
Well, I mean, there is just so much to look forward to, and as ever, the program across the theatres is full, jam-packed full of different kinds of shows. So whether it's musicals, plays, opera, ballet, comedy, music event, whatever you're into, there will be something on that um, appeals to you, I'm sure. But yeah, in the time we've got available, I guess I'm going to have to just pick some highlights out of that, aren't I? So I
Yes,
guess
yes.
I'd start, I think, with one of the shows I'm really looking forward to coming to, and actually coming to with my family, coming up this spring at the Palace, is Mary Poppins, which is just one of those absolutely classical musicals, but also really spectacular, exciting production of it this year.
Oh, do you know what? It is one of my favorites, and seeing it live is just magical. And I think it works on all ages because, as adults, we know it, we grew up with it, kids still love it today. And
Yeah,
if I remember rightly as well, there's just this point where you get goosebumps where Mary Poppins actually goes up into the air and she just disappears. I just don't know how they do it, Robin.
magic of theatre. Yeah, have to come
Yeah.
again and see if you can work it out.
I am so gonna be there for that. I mean, it's amazing. Now, when is that coming then?
So that's on April and May at the Palace, about 6 weeks.
Oh, not long to wait, not long to wait. Now,
No,
that is a
not too long.
biggie. So, in terms of biggies, there is one that has come direct from the West End. I have yet to see this on stage yet.
Ah,
Loved the film, and it starred, the wonderful Ewan McGregor and Nicole. Go on, you name it.
so you must be talking about Moulin Rouge, the
I
musical.
certainly am. Oh my goodness. I actually went to the real Moulin Rouge last year. So,
Ah,
the excitement for me is pretty much I'm there already. But
yeah.
tell us about what we can expect with this one.
Well, if you love the movie, then you're definitely going to love the stage version of the musical because it contains all the razzmatazz, the excitement, the spectacle, the music, and brilliant performances as well.
Do you know what? For me, I was thinking, is it ever gonna go out on tour and are we gonna get it? And I just think, yeah, this is gonna be a feast for the eyes. I imagine the costumes, because
Yeah,
the Baz Luhrmann movie is just it's kind of manic, isn't it? Because you just don't know where to look, and you've
yeah,
got this music that we know and love, things like, All You Need Is Love, weaved into different things, and you've got Sting in there, but
Yeah.
in a totally different way than you've ever heard it
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, but that's right. So it's a feast for the eyes, feast for the ears, a feast for the kind of emotions as well, actually. But you're right, the way it's put together is so well crafted because the music kind of weaves through the show in a really clever way. And so, yeah, you're right. You kind of, the show just moves on and on and on and keeps you really gripped and riveted. And yeah,
And I think that is going to look beautiful at the Palace Theatre because just the layout of the palace really feels that it's going to be perfect.
yeah, I think you're right. It's a natural home for the show, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, right. Well, that has definitely whet my appetite. What else have we got at the palace?
I guess the other thing I'd mention today is that, yes, I know we're only just done with this Christmas, but I'm also really looking forward to Christmas coming up at the Palace when we'll have Tina the musical, the Tina Turner story coming to Manchester.
This has got rave reviews everywhere, hasn't it, Tina? And honestly, it's like rolling
Yeah.
down the river. You're going to get so many people just having an absolute ball. And she's an icon, Tina, isn't she?
Massive, massive. Yeah, I went to see the show in London early last year, and yeah, the whole experience is just brilliant. Actually, I mean, it's the story of her life in the show, which has its ups and downs. She had some amazing moments in her life, but some really challenging moments as well. So there's real drama in there alongside that just incredible soundtrack of absolute hits. So yeah, it's a story of an icon, and it's brought to life as the icon wanted it to be brought to life, really. So yeah, that's going to be a real treat for us next Christmas.
Let's move to the Opera House because for me, I kind of alluded to this earlier on. What ATG does brilliantly is believes the fact that Manchester gets it first. And I love that motto. And we have been privileged to so many first world premieres here. And it's jam-packed in 2025. You've not got one, you've got three.
And what's exciting about programming these shows is that because it's the very first time they're going to happen, and they're still in the process of making these shows, as we're thinking about, oh, would it land here, would it land there? You never quite know, because the show's in development or in workshops, and then it's on the right track, and then suddenly a new idea comes in, and they did a little bit more times needed to develop it, and so the dates go back. And so those kind of shows are always moving around in our diary a little bit more than the regular established touring shows that we all know and love. So yes, often you don't know until quite late on if a show is really going to make it in time for a slot that we've got penciled for it. But yeah, you're right. We've had a really exciting couple of years with Mrs. Doubtfire, with I Should Be So Lucky, with Burlesque, of course, this year just gone, which was an absolute smash hit. But yeah, amazingly, three of these brand new Manchester Gets It First premieres have landed for 2025 at the Opera House, and yeah, in quick succession. So kind of spring, summer, and into the autumn, it's going to be a sensational experience, I think.
And they all sound brilliant, and they're ones that I've seen the movies. It's like A Knight's Tale first off with the wonderful Heath Ledger. That was like this comedy. It was, all about kind of the medieval times, and this is it's going to be a little bit rocky, I believe, as well.
Yeah, it has got absolutely those comedy elements, the kind of historical elements from the movie, and this just brilliant soundtrack to bring it all together as well. I think it's going to be a really fun night out, that one.
Manchester.
After A Knight's Tale, Come Fall in Love, and that's on at the Opera House in May and June, and is something quite new, different, and exciting, I think, in that it's based on a huge Bollywood mega movie spectacular, which goes by the acronym DDLJ. And I have to confess, I'm not a huge Bollywood aficionado, so I didn't know much about it prior to the idea of the show coming to Manchester. But actually, when I spoke to friends and colleagues who are into their Bollywood, they tell me that DDLJ is like one of the biggest Bollywood musicals of all time.
Oh, well, do you know what? I do like Bollywood movies. In fact, my favorite Bollywood movie is one called Hum Tum, which I would totally recommend. I haven't seen this one, but what I will say is because you know I love musicals, I was born with jazz hands in the air. I think with Bollywood, you get that, but like 100% elevated. You know, their dance numbers are epic dance numbers. You know, again, the costumes are just incredible and everything that goes into it. And I think the culture and the style of Bollywood, we're going to have a ball with this one. Then the final one, again, is a film, and this is one that I've seen a number of times. 13 going on 30. I love this, and I'm just intrigued at how they bring this one to the stage.
You know, that's the exciting thing about all three of these movies being transformed into musicals. Of course, you can imagine some parts of how it's going to work, but also you're thinking, how are they going to bring horses to the stage in A Knight's Tale
Yeah,
with the jousting scenes? How
yeah.
are they going to bring, yeah, the colour and spectacle of India to the stage in Come Fall in Love? And you're right, 13 going on 30's got some of those puzzles as well, hasn't it? The kind of the magic and the transformation in
Yeah,
that show.
yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Lucy Jones being cast in the lead role.
She is great, and I've seen her in lots of different things. I've seen her in Wicked, I've seen her in Waitress, and she's just got a real emotion in her voice and the delivery as well of the acting. So I think this is perfect for her. And I don't know how you deal with all these and make these decisions, Robin. It's a hard job, I suppose, to kind of get that program right, you know?
It's a big job. It's a team effort, and it's a huge privilege as well. You know, and do you know what? We were just totting up some numbers from 2024 as we kind of started the year this year, and I don't know whether we've told anybody this. There's a bit of an exclusive for you this, but having done our sums across the two venues, we had 593 performances across the 2024 year. And in total, that means more than 1 million audience members coming to the two venues across the course of the year, which is just phenomenal, isn't it?
That is amazing. And when we go back to that dark time of COVID where we thought, you know, live theatre may be no more, that makes my heart swell because, you know, you really wanted it to survive because there is nothing like live theatre. Honestly, sitting there, seeing the show, getting that feeling, you know, oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. Well, let's see if we can smash it in 2025, Robin. Well, it's jam-packed over at the Palace Theatre and Opera House of 2025. And if you want to see any of those productions that Robin and I have just mentioned or find out more about what's on, do head to our website, ilovemanchester.com/theatre. Now, let's take a look at what is on stage this week. Well, staying with the Opera House, Calamity Jane is in town from the 21st of January. Yes, tomorrow it comes to town. Whip cracking away, the musical comedy classic based on the much loved Doris Day movie. And we've got Carrie Hope Fletcher in the main role as Calamity Jane. What's it all about? Well, she's the biggest mouth in Dakota Territory and always up for a fight. She's gunslinging, but when the men of Deadwood fall hard for Chicago stage star Adelaide Adams, Calamity struggles to keep her jealousy holstered. Her heart's a thumping. But who for? Well, you're going to have to go and see it to find out. There's some great music in here, just blew in from the Windy City and the Oscar winning Secret Love. It's on at the Opera House until Saturday, the 25th of January. Now, another classic, but one that's more of a drama than a musical and based on the novel by George Orwell is Animal Farm. It opens at the Octagon this Wednesday. It's a stellar production of that timeless classic, and it's part of a UK tour. When the downtrodden animals of Manor Farm overthrow their master and take over, they imagine it's the beginning of a life of freedom and equality for all, but somehow it isn't because Napoleon and Snowball gradually take control. This is powerful and timeless, a satire on the corruption of power and has captivated audiences for a long time. If you want to catch it yourself, it's here until the 1st of February. And going back to musical theatre, well, this is something quite special. Only on from the 24th to 25th of January at Hope Mill Theatre. A little ball of pain. See what they did there? It is musical tearjerkers taken to the stage, a wide range of classical to contemporary heartbreakers. It'll have you crying and singing along to some of the best ballads musical theatre has to offer. And it features an ensemble of stunning West End performers and hosted by West End best friends James Edge. If you like your musical songs, then get yourself down there. I think that's going to be a cracker. You might have to take your tissues too. I'm not going to lie. Now, that's it for this week here on Spotlight on Stage. I'll be back with more next Monday. So do give us a follow on the Facebook page in the meantime. Check our website for more information and to book those tickets, ilovemanchester.com/theatre. Have a great week and I'll see you next Monday.